Good conclusion. We're now going to go straight to the next petition. That is Mr. Vuk. This is looking at the financial crisis, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Before I came here, I was asked to prepare in advance wording. I had done it, but I would like to comment some things I have heard here, because I think very important. It was speak about the struggle between South and North. I am from the South, but I must admit I don't agree with what was said with this struggle between North and South. We must admit in the South that the rate of the organized crime of white collars in the South Europe is much greater than in Northern Europe. And that is the biggest problem in the Southern Europe, and I think that this problem, organized crime, corruption, is ruining European Union. And so it must be very carefully treated how to solve this problem. Because I am coming from Slovenia, and there is also this crime is much, is very intensive. And now some people are talking that we should do the best to go out of the European Union, because they are afraid that someday a rule of law will be established in Slovenia and that they will lose what they have stolen. And I think that the European Union should make a real policy against organized crime, maybe an European FBI, because if I am looking how is the situation in Slovenia, it is insolvable. Nobody inside the country can solve this problem, because they have everything in their hands. They have politics, they control public administration, they control media, they control justice, they control everything. And probably it's much the same also in Greece, in Italy, in Portugal, in Spain, and so on. And so I think that the European Union should really seriously consider this problem. Because if this problem won't be solved, then maybe the European Union will be over someday. And now I would like just a few words about my petition. It seems that our civilization, at least in the Western world, has so far failed to solve the problem of the money supply. Money is a kind of public good, which allows the exchange of goods, thereby enabling the economy to function. The amount of money in circulation determines economic growth, employment rate, prices level, and the amount of taxes collected by the public sector. If the quantity of money in circulation is too small, the GDP decreases, unemployment increases, and tax revenues decline. While public expenditures increase, it is obvious that monetary policy is the most important component of the national economic policy. But who determines monetary policy? The monetary policy is determined by the autonomous financial system. The question is whether the interests of the financial system are in accordance with the public interest. The answer is decisively no. This shows the situation in the European Union and in the United States. Euro area is already several years mostly in crisis. Economic growth is low or negative. Unemployment is high and increasing. The public debt is increasing due to increasing of social expenditures, and the debt of the business sector is increasing too. The whole financial and economic situation is designed to satisfy the interests of the banking lobby. The same is true in the United States. Public debt in the United States is $17 billion and probably will never be repaid. It is obvious that something is wrong with the so-called monetization through debt. That is creating money only through debt, where financial system and banks create fiat money out of the thin air. The most important cause for the financial and economic crisis is that money comes into circulation as a credit by financial system given to private business sector, public sector, and to household sector. In such monetary system, debt is inherent and could never be really repaid. Debt is the very essence of the banking system. The crucial question is, who is the creditor and who is the debtor? In the actual financial system, the creditor is private banking system, while the public sector is the debtor. But it should be just the opposite, because monetary policy should be managed in public and not in private interest. The financial system itself generates the financial crisis, economic crisis, high unemployment and high indebtedness of states and public sector. This is not in the interest of the people, states and governments, but it is in the interest of the banking system. Why? Because commercial banks during the crisis acquire inexpensive real estates and equities and additionally earn money by huge lending to public sector, which is in trouble due to a decrease in inflows into public treasury. The crisis is a gold mine for banks. The rich bankers are becoming ever more rich and the others have less and less. How to change this? The policy making of financial systems should be taken out of the hands of the banking lobby and it should be returned to the authority of nations and their governments. The benefits from the issuance of fiat money should go at least partly to the public sector, not just to the banking lobby. The states should be allowed to get a certain share of the central bank fiat money annually, which would not be the debt toward financial system. Thus, it would be possible to eliminate the over-indebtedness of the states and public sector. The original right to create fiat money is the right of the state, not of the completely autonomous financial system, which is becoming a kind of economic parasite, which gets much greater part of GDP than it really creates. It gets also the share of GDP which belongs to the states and to the people. That is why the politics of the austerity is wrong. Thank you.
Vielen Dank.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much, Mr. Vuk, for your presentation. Now, the situation is at the moment that we've had a suggestion and we can work until 12:45 with our interpreters. So we've got a number of, 3 colleagues who want to talk. So I'm really going to ask people, if possible, please, to make your statements as brief as possible. Perhaps 3 minutes, 4 minutes maximum in terms of your presentation. We've got another 15 minutes, as I say. And the less you speak, obviously, the more discussion we can have. So that's the situation. So, Mr. Leinen, as the